Although K-pop Demon Hunters is a perfect movie in many aspects, it leaves a lot of things unexplained. Like, why only 3 girls protect people from demons? And what is Guima's origin? Where did he came from? And today's video, I'll show you everything that doesn't make sense in this movie and why that is a problem. Hey beautiful people, I'm Julie, and dude, am I the only one who kept wondering if the honeymoon is something exclusive to Korea? Like this magical barrier only protects South Korea, or does it protect the whole world? Because like, if it's only Korea, what do other countries do against demons? Like, are there demons in Tokyo? Or do the demons in the movie have a preference to the South Korea people? Or will you tell me that Guima can only act in that specific region in the world? Because the movie doesn't get into any details about that, and I can get why the demons only raid Korea and not other countries as well, which theoretically have no protection such as the honeymoon, you know? Unless each country has their own hunters. What I think is going on is that Guima was sealed in South Korea lands, and that's why everything happens there. Okay, this part I can let slide. But if there's something that I really can't get over with, is knowing who discovered the honeymoon. It's not possible that a magical barrier just appeared out of nowhere, like the Big Bang, you know? Or is it? And even if it was possible, how did people find it? Because the movie didn't touch this topic. If the hunters found it, how did that happen? Did they stumble into some sort of old prophecy and read about the magical barrier called honeymoon? Did a book fell from a bookshelf and it contained magical answers? Or did someone have a revealing vision? Guys, I don't want to nitpick in this, but I want to fill in those gaps that the movie left unanswered. Because even Miraculous, with all its flaws, cares to explain the origin of the Kwamis, the miraculous, and how the charms were formed. This sort of explaining, besides making the plot more plausible, also clarifies some questions that we might get while watching or rewatching the movie. I already wanted to learn how did the hunters find out that their voices was the thing that would keep the barrier up, free from the demons. By any chance, was there some sort of shaman who shout out really loud by accident, saw the honeymoon for a split second? Because that isn't something obvious to think of. In fiction works, magical barriers are created with magic, blood rituals, and sometimes even with curses. But in K-pop Demon Hunters, we don't see any of that and just accept the fact. Like, okay, I really wanted a scene showing this discovery, you know? Another thing that really bothers me is where did the hunters came from? Like, no one explained to us their origin. Out of nowhere they exist, are really well trained, have really stylish clothes, and are ready to kick demons' ass. I don't think so, okay? Someone had to teach them all of that. And why do they need to be a female trio? Would that be some sort of only women ancient ritual thing? Because the groups we saw at the beginning of the movie were all composed of women. We saw no man among them. Therefore, that might be some symbolism behind it, like Bible's Trinity. Either way, it's just a way that emphasizes girl power. I don't know. And since we're talking about the hunters, I'd like to understand how the Huntrix were formed. Like, this idea came from Celine? And if so, how did she reach out to the Zoey and Mira? Was she who decided to gather all these 3? And why exactly Zoey and Mira? Is there something special about them compared to other children? Or was this choice some sort of last wish Rumi's parents left to Celine before they died? And final thing, how old are these girls? Like, they are adults about 25 years old, or are they barely legal age? Because for me, Zoey seems to be around 19 or 20 years old, while Rumi and Mira look older. I also would like to know how Rumi's parents met. How did they started as enemies and fell in love, like Rumi and Jinu? Or was Rumi's demon father naturally good? But if there's a question that I can't really answer is, why didn't you like this video already? Come on guys, it's free and motivates me to bring more videos like this one right now. Does someone know where the Huntr explained crash? During the opening song, how it's done, we see the girls jumping from a plane to arrive at the moment show. But like, where did the plane go? What if it crash on the place filled with innocent people. I bet that you didn't even think about that, because the Huntrix themselves didn't care about that. Not even the movie did. And it flew past this detail. And it seems to me that this is becoming a recurring thing, as even the Demon King didn't have his origin story explained. After all, who is Guima? Where did he came from? Is he really Rumi's father? And why does he hate the Hanmoon so much? He only appears as this evil that wants to corrupt the world and breaks the barrier that protects human and suck their souls. But what's the real goal? Why does he really want to destroy the barrier? I get that the Hanmoon is the barrier that prevents the humans from crossing the human world, but what does Guima really get by breaking it? Does he just want to destroy stuff? Or is there a deeper meaning, like take revenge at someone or a traumatic past? The movie doesn't even hint that to us, giving room for interpretation, which is cool to theorize but also shows a hole in the story. Like, if he sucked all souls to himself, what would he do then? Would he evolve to a more powerful demon form? Because like, if there's something that is a real turnoff in any story, is the villain being evil for no reason at all. Zero motivation, zero storyline. I hate these kinds of scripts. And what happened to the previous hunters after Rumi's mother died? We know that she was Sunlight Sisters, which means she was a hunter a few years back, alongside Celine and another singer. But after she died, no one talked about it. Celine felt obligated to take care of Rumi, while the other singer simply disappeared, vanished from Earth. But why is that? Maybe she got so weird around each other after Rumi's mother died that they decided to end the group? Or did they try to replace Rumi's mother with another idol, but that didn't go so well? But as if that wasn't enough, the movie didn't care to explain to us, neither gave any hint about how the Hanmoon was protected while the previous hunters, Celine, Rumi's mother, and the other singer, were absent. Come on, if they are hunters who protect the human and strengthen the barrier with their voices, how did this magical barrier stay intact during the period without the Sunlight Sisters? Doesn't that make the barrier vulnerable? How did the Hanmoon stay, well, that time? Like for years. Kinda weird, isn't it? It seems like the movie skipped the Huntrix past as if it was all sorted out on this own. But what if in that halftime there was another attempt to break the barrier? What if someone died trying to protect the Hanmoon and we never hear about that? What do you guys think? Comment down below your opinions, let's debate that in the comments. And this question is bothering me since I watched the movie for the very first time. Do the Huntrix use magic? Because think about it, how do they summon those weapons out of thin air? The movie never explained that to us. Like, they are wizards and I never noticed? If so, where is this magic and where did it come from? In my video about deleted scenes from K-pop Demon Hunters, I mentioned a storyboard that shows Rumi's father giving her a violet flower, and from this flower, she summons her magical sword. It makes sense emotionally and narratively, you know, but as this scene was deleted, I don't know if Rumi's sword coming from a magical flower is exactly canon. Not to mention that we still have the other girls, Zoey and Mira, who don't seem to have any demonic or magical power whatsoever. So in their case, where did the magical weapons come from? How did they manage to summon them whenever they feel like it? Dude, I truly hope that these questions get answers in a future sequel or animated series, because we still have a lot to figure out. A lot of unanswered questions that not even the producers or the director itself are commenting about. So we left nothing but theorize, right? And my theory is that someone forgot to write these parts in the script.